The first day of senior year was supposed to be a fresh start. But for Eliza Moore, it felt like walking into a battlefield. The hallways of Jefferson High echoed with laughter, sneakers squeaking on polished floors, and the unrelenting chatter of students catching up after summer break. But none of that reached Eliza. Not really. Her world was locked behind thick-rimmed glasses, noise-canceling headphones, and the invisible wall she built around her after everything that happened last year. She was the new girl back then. Quiet, awkward, dressed in oversized hoodies and worn-out jeans, she carried a tattered notebook and rarely spoke. She had transferred after her father's death and her mother's breakdown. All she wanted was to blend in. But Jefferson High didn't let people blend in. Especially girls like her. It started with whispers behind her back. Then the accidental bumps in the hallway. Books knocked out of her hands. Cruel messages taped to her locker. And then came Zane Tucker, the star quarterback, golden boy of Jefferson High, and leader of the football pack. Where Zane walked, others followed. His smile could charm teachers. His fists could silence anyone. And he had a particular habit of targeting the quiet ones. By junior year, Eliza had learned to disappear. She walked the edges of the halls, avoided eye contact, and spent lunch in the library or the janitor's closet. She wasn't a coward, she was surviving. But something changed over the summer. It started in the quiet solitude of her garage when she discovered her late father's old punching bag. It still had the tape from when he taught her self-defense as a kid, before life swallowed their laughter. Something in her snapped. She started training again, every day. Punching. Kicking. Rebuilding her strength. Not just physically, but mentally. Not for revenge. But because she was tired of hiding. So on the first day of senior year, Eliza wasn't the same girl anymore. Third period ended. The hallways buzzed. Eliza walked with her usual silence, hugging her sketchbook. She was rounding the corner near the gym when it happened. Zane and his friends, Logan, Bryce, and Reed, stood like a wall near the lockers. The football team's upcoming championship game had the whole school buzzing, and the boys were untouchable. Literally. Coaches turned a blind eye. So did most teachers. "Hey, art freak," Zane sneered as Eliza passed. She ignored him. "I'm talking to you." She paused, without turning. "Didn't anyone teach you it's rude to ignore someone?" Zane stepped forward and smacked her sketchbook from her hands. It hit the ground, pages fluttering open, revealing her intricate drawings, some of nature, some of her father, and others of herself in battle poses. "Whoa," Logan whistled. "Didn't know freaks could draw." As she bent to retrieve it, Bryce suddenly shoved her against the locker. Hard. Metal rattled. Pain bloomed in her back. "Don't touch my stuff," she said, her voice even but firm. That surprised them. Zane leaned closer, his breath hot against her ear. Or what? What happened next would be whispered in Jefferson High's halls for years to come. Without flinching, Eliza lifted her knee, sharp, fast, and perfectly aimed. It connected with Zane's gut. The quarterback let out a stunned wheeze and collapsed to the floor, gasping. Logan lunged at her, but she spun, hooked his ankle, and sent him crashing into the lockers. Bryce stepped back, confused, but before he could react, Eliza raised her voice. "Touch me again and I swear, you'll wish the football season never started." Silence. Other students had stopped. Phones were out. Cameras rolling. Then a teacher's voice boomed, "What's going on here?" But no one spoke. Even Zane, groaning on the floor, had nothing to say. She was called to the principal's office. They watched the footage. Over and over. And this time, the truth was undeniable. The video showed everything, the taunts, the shove, the retaliation. But something else happened too, students began to speak. Girls who had been targeted before. A freshman who dropped out of cheer tryouts because of Bryce. A sophomore boy who'd had his bike smashed behind the gym. Eliza had become a spark. The administration suspended the boys, pending investigation. And when the local media got hold of the video, everything changed. Headlines flashed. Quiet girl defends herself from star athletes, and sparks a movement. Zane and his crew were out for the season. But Eliza never gloated. She avoided interviews. She didn't post on social media. Instead, she sat in the corner of the art room, headphones on, sketching with a quiet intensity. One afternoon, a shy freshman girl named Mia approached her with trembling fingers and handed her a note. "Thank you for showing me we can fight back." Soon, others came. Students who had felt small, powerless, voiceless. And Eliza listened. She didn't become popular. But she became something more powerful, respected. The school counselor started a student-led safety council, and Eliza was invited to lead. She hesitated at first but agreed. Not because she liked the spotlight, but because she'd learned that strength wasn't always about punches or kicks. Sometimes it was just about standing up, once, and refusing to be stepped on again. Then one morning in November, Eliza was at her locker when she noticed someone behind her. It was Zane. His once polished appearance was gone. He looked tired, thinner. "Can I talk to you?" he asked quietly. She tensed but nodded. "I wanted to say, I'm sorry. Not just for that day. For all of it. I lost my scholarship. My teammates hate me. And I deserve that. But, you were right to stand up." Eliza looked at him for a long moment. "I didn't do it to punish you. I did it so no one else would have to feel afraid." He nodded, shame flickering in his eyes. "I wish I'd been someone else back then." "So be someone else now," she replied, not with anger, but with clarity. By graduation, the school was different. There was less fear in the halls. More respect. Students walked a little taller, especially the quiet ones. The football team wasn't undefeated anymore, but no one cared. People talked instead about how Jefferson High had changed. And it all started because a girl with glasses and a sketchbook refused to be pinned against a locker. Heartwarming message. You don't have to be loud to be strong. You don't have to throw a punch to make an impact. But when someone crosses the line, and you find the courage to stand, truly stand, not just for yourself, but for others too, you don't just change your own life, you change the world around you.